Hello everyone, this is Manish Chauhan from jagoinvestor.com, and today we have with us Mahavir Chopra of Beshak.org. So today we are going to discuss some of the guidelines which has changed in health insurance from IRDA, and these guidelines are going to change from 1st of October, which is today. So welcome Mahavir, welcome to this show.
Hey, thank you Manish, thank you for having me here.
Yeah, so for viewers who do not know Mahavir Chopra is a part of insurance industry from very long time, and I know him from many years now, and I think he is the best guy to talk on this subject. So he is a founder of Beshak.org, which is independent consumer awareness platform for insurance buyers. So please check out their website, and you can also ask your questions on their website. So Mahavir, so how many changes are we going to talk about today? Like I know there are so many changes which has come up, but how many of them we are going to touch upon? So over to you. You can just take over and start telling our viewers that, what are the major changes.
Right. So overall, there are about 10 changes that we are talking about today. What has happened is that IRDA had released a guideline last year in September, October 2019, asking insurers to change their policies, make it more standardized, have more inclusions in terms of the kind of diseases that they should cover. And it was supposed to get effective from 1st October 2020, which is today, right?
Yeah.
So there are around 10 key areas that we will be talking about, where there are significant changes that people should know about. So, sure.
Okay. So, Mahavir, before we go into these 10 points, can you just briefly touch upon, why these guidelines, like what is the scenario right now? What is the condition right now of health industry?
So the thing is that if you look at it, insurance as from the private sector point of view started around 20 years ago. All these private sector insurance companies came 20 years ago. And approximately 14 years ago, these standalone health insurance companies, the Star Healths of the world and the Apollo Munich of the world came in, right? So that all the innovation that happened in health insurance happened in the last 20 years. And this 20 years, while innovation happened, insurance companies also got a lot creative and worked on their own wordings, right? Everybody had their own wordings, everybody had their own exclusions. Now, मैं अलग तरीके से exclusion लिखूंगा, आप अलग तरीके से exclusion लिखेंगे. And there are like 20 policies minimum of these 20 companies, right? And when you're comparing, you will compare only the headline, right? Saying that pre-existing disease ka waiting period kitna hai. But point is that the definitions in 20 companies could be 20 different definitions, right? So that was one of the things. And the other was a lot of these people, like people who had epilepsy, people who had cancer, were not getting covered. So this is also bringing a lot of these people who were not getting covers, enabling insurance companies to be able to cover such people. So it's basically doing two things. It is reducing ambiguities and it is improving access for people.
Correct. Yeah, I can understand this, because when I talk to a lot of people who want to buy health insurance, they are extremely confused because they are comparing so many plans, and one plan is good on one parameter, the other plan is good on another parameter, and it becomes very, very tough for them to choose. So, okay, Mahavir, so let's start the main point. Let's get into these 10 points. What are the changes?
Sure. So the first point is basically that everybody knows, right? In health insurance, there are exclusions. Like insurance policy is basically a policy which will talk about benefits. It will have limits, and then it will have exclusions. Now, like we said, there were multiple types of exclusions and then multiple definitions of exclusions. Now, what IRDA has done is that for 18 top exclusions, which are the most common exclusions in most of these policies, they have made the definition standard. So now the definitions for these policies is going to be the exact same wording across all insurance companies from today onwards. So that is the first change. So it becomes very easy for a user to now understand the exclusion once and then compare against multiple policies, instead of understanding exclusion for every company and then comparing, which is like almost an impossible task, right? For any regular person who's not from the insurance industry. So this is a very good change that has happened now.
So you are talking about these exclusions which are like pre-existing illnesses
Correct.
or
Yes.
the major illnesses like diabetes is there and these kind of
No, so
exclusions.
these are all the exclusions. Like for example, a normal health insurance policy would have exclusions which are related to maternity, which will have exclusions which are related to first 30 days
Yeah.
sickness not covered, pre-existing diseases,
Okay.
obesity treatment. So
Yeah.
all this is now basically standardized. The definitions of all these are now standardized.
So this 18 includes all kind of things.
All the top exclusions.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move to the second one.
The second one is basically that IID. This is a smaller point mentioned in the guideline, but it has a very good impact on the policy.
Mhm.
Is that it says that policies cannot have ambiguous wordings. So exclusions cannot have any kind of ambiguous wordings. Like for example, wordings cannot say that this disease is not covered. Like for example, this is just an example. Obesity is not covered, but any treatment for obesity and any disease that is indirectly related to obesity is also not covered. So
Yeah.
insurers now cannot use wordings which are like indirectly related to,
Correct.
or put wordings like such as. So specifically, IRDA has now mentioned this, that you cannot use such open-ended words in your exclusions, which helps a user to not have any kind of questions in his mind. It will be very clear for people to understand.
I think what used to happen is that when they say that, such as or indirectly related to, then it becomes a point of debate, right? At the time of claim, the customer can say this is not related and the company can say, no, from our definition, it is related. Correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
Go off.
Yeah, because for example, if it is diabetes, a person who has diabetes and you say that anything that is indirectly related to diabetes will not be covered, almost nothing will be covered. Because diabetes, everything is connected to diabetes once you have diabetes.
So I'll give you one example. Like my father-in-law has a policy, and it is he had gone through a bypass surgery, and it is written in his policy that any illness which is directly or indirectly related to heart illness,
this is a perfect
will not be covered for life. So
Correct.
are you saying that will change now?
It's gone. Yes, you're right. Now insurers cannot put such kind of wordings. Okay. So the wordings will be either say that this is not covered or this is covered. They cannot say directly and indirectly related.
So in that case, they will have to give a list of things that these 5 things, these 50 things are covered or not covered. Something like that.
So yes, if they want to put an exclusion, it will have to be a direct, simple exclusion. It cannot be an open-ended exclusion, which is something where grievances happen, where complaints happen, where disputes happen. So that is now in a way solved.
Great. Okay. I think that point is clear. So with the next one.
The third one is basically IRDA has now disallowed certain exclusions, which basically means in a way that IRDA has now said that these are going to be part of the policy, right? So when an insurer has been told that now you cannot put these exclusions. What are these exclusions? According to the guideline, it says that, for example, mental illness cannot be excluded in a policy. Right? Or something which is called inner congenital disease, internal congenital disease, cannot be excluded by an insurer. Now, so basically what this means is now that every policy will have to cover mental illness, every policy will have to cover internal congenital diseases. Okay. So these exclusions cannot be put now anymore in the policy.
Even dental cover will come into this?
No. Dental will not come into this. Dental is actually very complicated. Okay. Dental is only covered when there is an accident and the jaw is broken and then there is a surgery required. Otherwise, it's not covered that way.
Okay. So it is going to widen the cover in a way, right?
Exactly. Yes. Because these kind of diseases were otherwise not covered. Like for example, mental disease was never covered. Like for example, hormonal changes in for people. And there were certain treatments that were required for those kind of things were not covered in the policy.
So tell me one thing, Mahavir, why does IRDA have to force this? Because companies can always cover these and increase the cost, right? They could always have done that. So why?
Right. So certain inclusions that are basically enforced by IRDA is because it comes from a larger goal that IIT has to ensure that there is inclusiveness in the policy, right?
Yeah.
For example, mental illness not being covered. Today, the world is talking about mental illness being exactly same as physical illness,
True.
right?
True.
And there is a lot of discussion on inclusiveness and not discriminating between mental illness and physical illness. So all these are steps in that direction, which is extremely welcome.
Correct.
Very, very welcome, because people should not have a problem in getting access to healthcare because the policy does not cover it, right? So that's
Correct.
that way it's
And
very good.
I think a very large section of population needs some kind of mental cover, like
Yes.
cure. And just because in our culture it's not like, we generally don't want to pay for these kind of things, right?
Right.
Agar matlab
Right.
diabetes hai, to we will pay, we'll go to the hospital. But if
Correct.
someone is stressed and there is some mental illness, will not spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So
Right.
this, I think this is a great move, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So like you rightly said, for people who need, because mental illness actually can cost a lot.
Yeah.
Hospitalization can be very expensive. There are people who do not get treated because there is no, the treatment costs are so high. If you read online, you will see horror stories about people not going to the not going to the doctor because the treatment is so expensive. However, people should know this, that this policy, the health insurance, is going to cover mental illness only if there is a hospitalization. The regular kharcha, like anyways, in case of physical illness also, regular kharcha is not covered in the policy. In mental illness also, regular OPD expenses will not be covered in the.
So if I'm correct, in mental illness, there is a lot of counseling which happens. You go to a counselor.
Correct.
So
that will not be covered. Of course, that will not be covered. So it's like, going for sardi khasi, if you're going to the doctor, today that's not covered under health insurance, right? Okay. It will be restricted to hospitalization only. And there is hospitalization required for mental illness, not that it does not.
I've not heard too much about it.
Yes, there is. It's quite low. It's quite low. So my study says that it's like close to around only 4% of the cases, 3 to 4% of the cases go to hospitalization.
Okay.
Need hospitalization.
Okay.
So you're right. It's not going to be like completely open up, access to mental illness for everybody, so that everybody can get treated even for doctor consultations. It's not going to be that much, but it's a good start that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mahavir, let's move to the next one.
So the next one is basically the definition of pre-existing disease has been standardized. So what this means is that earlier the definition of pre-existing disease was that any kind of sign or symptom or any kind of disease, right, or injury that you are aware of for 48 months before you bought the policy is supposed to be pre-existing disease. So in this, there was a lot of dependence on the person who's buying the policy and his memory, right? For him to remember, and he has to think of all the signs and symptoms he had, whether he had a toothache or he had a stomach ache, and all that also can get included because it's a very broad definition. Sign and symptoms, right? Sign and symptoms matlab kya hai? Sab kuch hi include ho gaya. So 48 months you have to remember is not easy. Now what IIT has done is that the definition is that either your doctor has advised you a treatment or a doctor has diagnosed a disease. Only in these two cases it will be considered a pre-existing disease. Apart from this, anything else does not need to be considered a existing disease. That way. So it's a very, very clear objective definition now. So for example, I had 1 year ago, I had toothache, right? Now, I went to the doctor. Doctor did not basically give me any advice. He said, this is normal pain. You don't need anything to do about this. You can be okay. This is absolutely fine. This is just some normal thing that has happened to you. Just, have salt water gargles and you'll be okay, right? So this is a symptom or a sign that did not get diagnosed or no medical advice was given to me, right? Specific medical advice. So such kind of things, a better example can be given by a doctor, honestly. But such kind of things where there is no medical advice that is being given, or there is nothing that has got diagnosed, where the doctor writes in the prescription saying that this person has asthma, this person has diabetes, or there is a medical test that has been done. Specifically, the person has been told that you have bronchitis, for example. In those kind of cases, it will be considered as a part of pre-existing disease. Apart from that, anything that you had a headache 1 year ago, right? And no doctor had advised anything to you or no diagnosis has been done, that is not considered now a existing disease. this will also lead to a lot of reduction in grievances, because ये वाला जो मामला है जहाँ पे you don't know what to write, what to not write, is very confusing for the user.
Yeah. I have interacted with so many people who want to buy health insurance, and they are always in this fear that, it's not diagnosed, but what if it is there?
Right.
Like, what if I have diabetes, but I am not aware about it? I have not gone to doctor and something like that.
Perfect. So this is the right example, actually, Manish.
Yeah.
Where in that case, I have gone through the doctor, and doctor has in fact told me that I don't have anything, or I've done tests and nothing has happened. But recently, I feel there is something wrong with me. I'm filling the form right now. I don't know about it. It is not considered an existing disease.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that clears a lot. Fine.
Right. So the next point is basically about something called 8 years of moratorium.
Yeah.
So what this means is that पहले क्या होता था कि insurance company, let's say even a person who is a senior citizen and he's paid policy premiums, like my father is paying insurance premiums for close to 40 years now, right? Now, if what used to happen earlier is that if an insurance company has seized a claim, right, and that claim, it comes to know that there is a specific misrepresentation in the that they come to know when the person got the policy, which is like 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. The insurance company had the right to basically decline the claim and also cancel the policy forever. Now, what will happen is that insurance companies will have this option of looking back only 8 years. So only 8 years they can look back and basically find out if there was any kind of misrepresentation. If there is no misrepresentation after the policy is completed 8 years. So for example, if I bought the policy in 2010, we are at 2020. Now any insurance company, I having a claim, the insurance company cannot go and look back and find out if I have made a misrepresentation unless it is a proven fraud, which is in the case where I have intentionally deceived the insurance company for ensuring that I will make a claim after 10 years. So if that proof hota hai, then only in that case an insurer can reject my claim or cancel my policy. Apart from that, it will never be done.
So this is similar to the term insurance rule, where after 3 years you cannot reject the claim.
But term insurance with the fraud is not part of the wordings. In that case, it is like completely customer friendly, where they are saying even misrepresentation, fraud, everything, you cannot look back after 3 years.
So Mahavir, tell me one thing. Does it mean that going forward, the claim settlement ratio is going to be kind of irrelevant again?
In this case, yes, it will become to a good extent, because insurance companies will not be able to look back a lot of cases. Only fraud will get included. Yeah. So from that perspective, you are right. Meaning, very, very few claims can get rejected. 8 years is going to take a lot of time. So all the policies that are getting sold today, they still have 8 years for it to, not stop, they not being declined or not being cancelled.
And this, because of this rule, this change, I think it becomes another reason why a person should be taking the health insurance as soon as possible, so that that 8 years window is passed.
Absolutely, right? Absolutely. There are so many reasons why you should buy.
Yeah. This is one of the.
Today on the forum, there is a person who's 38 years old. He's saying, "Mujhe diabetes ho gaya, and now no insurer is giving me policy."
Yeah.
This is exactly, I wanted to take a screenshot and put it on all social media without his name and saying, this is something that you will suffer with if you don't be serious about buying insurance, at least health insurance.
Even a lot of NRIs who are confused on this, कि भाई मैं जब आऊँगा इंडिया तब लेना है मुझे policy. So I generally tell them, यार, if you're coming after 3, 4, 5, whatever number of years, you take one policy, at least.
Correct.
At least it will get old, the pre-existing diseases, all that clause will go off, right?
Totally. I think health insurance is a slow burn product, and it will definitely pay off. Meaning, I have not seen in my life anybody who has bought a policy and like paid premiums for 15, 20 years and has regretted it. There's never been the case. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay. So next point.
So next point is basically there is a improved access for people who have certain diseases. Like for example, what used to happen in the past is that people who had, let's say, cancer, or people who had, let's say, epilepsy, or people who had very serious kidney diseases, right, or liver diseases, these people were completely rejected by insurance companies, saying that we cannot give you a policy. And the reason behind that was that insurers were not able to even give a 48-month waiting period for these people, right? Because वो जब पॉलिसी लेने के लिए आता था कोई कस्टमर, तो they felt that I cannot give a 4-year waiting period also to this customer. Even then it is going to be loss making for me.
Yeah.
Right. So insurers used to reject these proposals altogether. Now IRD is enabling these insurers to say that, okay, fine, for these kind of diseases, so they have listed certain diseases. For these kind of diseases, which is a certain number of diseases which is specifically mentioned in the guideline, you can put a permanent exclusion and give the person a policy. Right?
For other illnesses.
For other illnesses, like बहुत सारे लोग ना epilepsy वाले होते हैं. They keep telling this to me, and I've got so many requests on social media where people say that I have epilepsy. I don't want a cover for epilepsy. At least give me a cover for everything else, right? Now that can be possible. Even now, insurers, honestly, from my experience, I don't think it is going to become totally open that everybody will start now getting policies. But at least insurers have been enabled now to take give a policy to such people and not completely reject them.
They could have done that earlier also, right?
Yes.
If they are excluding it, they can cover for other things and charge a higher premium.
Yes, but so charging higher premium is not always the solution, because as much as you cannot charge like 300% premium, usually insurers will be able to charge 100% premium. So insurers did not find it to be viable because this is like a lifetime cover, right? हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम क्या है फॉर एन इंश्योरेंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, कि मैंने आपको पॉलिसी दे दिया, अगर आपको डिजीज हो गया, then you are not going to ever drop from the policy. You are going to stick to the policy.
Correct.
But an insurer, that is, imagine only such people stick with the policy. It is a very big financial risk for them, right? So for them, that's why covering people who already have a disease is a very, very big financial risk. Right? Because they know that I have to cover this person forever. I cannot stop his cover at any given point in time for his entire lifetime. So that's what you asked. Sorry, I'll answer your question also. That पहले भी कर सकते थे. Insurers were doing permanent exclusions in the past also. But the only difference is that it was a gray area. There was no regulation that was enabling it. It was insurers who were looking at it as a gray area and taking a call. Now it is a part of the regulation that only these 18 or 19 diseases you can put permanent exclusion, not for anybody else, not for anything else.
But is it a win-win situation now? Is it a win-win for?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is, because a person who had cancer was okay. I know so many people who have gone, or cancer survivors, who are okay with not getting a cover for cancer, but at least want a cover for everything else in their life. Now that is possible that way. There is a specific thing that insurers cannot do this for diabetes and hypertension, or for cardiac ailments and those kind of things. It is more. It is a list, specific list.
I think cardiac related illnesses and diabetes, it's now become a part of life in a way.
Exactly. So उसमें permanent डालोगे तो बहुत कुछ कट जाएगा.
फिर तो आधे लोग cover ही नहीं हो पाएंगे.
Exactly. Correct.
Okay, let's move to the next point.
The other point is, which is I think our 7th point, is that modern treatments will now get covered under health insurance, which is an amazing thing that IRD has done.
Okay.
Because, for example, oral chemotherapy was not covered. You will also see, if you go to your forums and your past comments that you will see on your articles also, you will see that a lot of people have talked about that oral chemotherapy covered kyun nahi hai, right? Because it is finally chemotherapy. It's a better way of chemotherapy where I don't have to get hospitalized or not, that maybe whatever medical reasons, that oral chemotherapy became a substitute for regular chemotherapy. Now this is covered under health insurance. So no insurance policy can now reject a claim for oral chemotherapy. Another example is robotic surgeries. The third example is stem cell treatments, right? Stem cell therapies. All this has now become part of the coverage. You will not have a rejection for these kind of modern treatments, which are now become part of normal medical treatments.
So is there a list of these modern things which is?
Yes, there is a list.
Okay.
Yeah, all of these things, there is a list. So there is a list for modern treatments. There is a list for permanent exclusions. The defined exclusions that I was talking about, there is a list. So yes.
So is it going to benefit like those investors who have a higher health cover and they are going to a hospital which is like kind of a little advanced? Because
Yes.
still I think it's not going to be a whole population who will opt for this, right?
Yeah, but what happens is that certain treatments, like why do you buy a health insurance? You buy health insurance because you want the best access for healthcare, right?
Yeah.
Abhi, my father has health insurance. I will keep investing in that health insurance because when there is a treatment required, I want to take him to the best hospital and I want to get him the best treatment. Now, suppose I go to a hospital and the hospital tells me कि इसमें robotic surgery सबसे अच्छा होगा. And then I check with the insurance and insurance company says, sir, हम तो नहीं cover करते. I am stuck, right? I have to pay from my own pocket. In this case, now I'm enabled. Now I can say, boss, I would go for the best treatment, which is robotic surgery.
True. I think that's great. Okay, let's move to the
other 3 points are the little smaller points, but important for people to know. One of which is now insurance companies cannot apply waiting periods for specified illnesses. So there is something called waiting period for specified illnesses in all policies, right? Which says that hernia, hernia, prolapsed disc, which is basically slip disc, and things like that are not covered for 24 months and 48 months. So there are certain things like cataract is not covered for 24 months in a lot of policies. Like knee surgery is not covered for 48 months in any policy. So IRDA says that you cannot put more than 48 months ka exclusion for specified ailments. That is one new guideline that IRDA has put, which is good because that restricts an insurer to get too creative and do such kind of waiting periods. Any random waiting period for random number of years cannot be done.
Okay.
Apart from that, in case of diabetes, cardiac ailments, and for hypertension, if it is non-pre-existing when you're buying the policy, the waiting period cannot be more than 90 days. So what this means is that मुझे अभी मैं policy खरीद रहा हूँ, I don't have hypertension.
Got it.
Right? I'm buying the policy, and insurer has put in its verdict that even if you don't have diabetes, I will not cover for 2 years. Like there are policies which I have seen, and we've also discussed this in the past. Is that where there was a 2 years waiting period for diabetes and hypertension?
Correct.
Right?
My policy. My policy.
Exactly. That's what I was referring to. तो 2 साल के लिए आपको hypertension और diabetes cover नहीं होगा. अब वो आप नहीं कर सकते. IRDA says you cannot put more than 90 days waiting period for these kind of diseases like diabetes, hypertension.
And those
ये disease से आधी जो जिसको hypertension और diabetes होता है, उसको आधे से ज़्यादा things are now going to get connected with that and only have treatments. So you cannot put such kind of restrictions. It's an amazing thing IRDA has done.
And those people who have it, for them, can it increase more than 2 years or it will be restricted?
नहीं तो जिसका है ना, now when the renewal happens, let's say suppose as someone has bought this policy that we're talking about, उसमें 2 साल था, अब renewal के time पे उसको 1 साल नहीं करना है, वो zero हो जाए. That way.
No, I did not get this.
So for example, I bought this policy, let's say we are talking about 2020, right?
Yeah.
Let's say the person bought this policy in December 2019. तो उसमें 2 साल का waiting period था for diabetes and hypertension.
Correct.
Now he will renew the policy in December 2020. When he gets the new policy, in that policy there will be no waiting period for diabetes and hypertension.
No, I was talking about a situation where now a person buys it, he already has a diabetes or let's say hypertension. For that person, the waiting period will be 2 years.
For that, the waiting period will be 4 years. That is the pre-existing disease. Na? That the waiting period will always be pre-existing disease.
Okay, got it.
2 to 4 years depending on insurance company to insurance company.
Got it. Okay, and what is the last one? I think
the last point is a very small point, which is saying that domiciliary hospitalization जहाँ पे होता है, where the hospitalization is happening at home, but it is somewhere where either the patient cannot go to the hospital because of certain condition, or the hospital does not have beds. In that case, insurers allow domiciliary hospitalization where you are hospitalized at home. In that case, now IRDA has made a clear clarification that post-hospitalization and pre-hospitalization expenses will also be covered. So that is the last point that we wanted to cover today. So these are the 10 key areas where changes have happened, and according to me, almost all of them are very, very great, good changes.
Correct.
Will make the policy very less ambiguous, more accessible for people.
True. Great. Thanks, Mahavir, for sharing all these 10 points. I have a couple of more things to ask. Right. Is there any 11th point which you wish had happened, which has not happened, and you are like, okay, ye bhi karna chahiye tha? if you
Okay.
have it handy.
So I think what I would have asked for is that underwriting. इसमें सबसे बड़ा जो catch आने वाला है ना Manish,
True.
is going to be underwriting. So we have right now talked about mostly about claims, right? Apart from the permanent exclusion वाला जो point हमने बात किया, जहाँ पे insurer जब select करता है risk को, जब एक customer को profile check करता है, that time he will have an option of putting a permanent exclusion. But all the others are related to claims.
True.
Right? It is not going to change life for people who already have mental illness, who already have epilepsy. It is not going to change a lot of their life because underwriting is not going to change. Proposal forms are not going to change. What is changing is claims. So if I already have a policy, it will start covering me for mental illness. But if I don't have a policy, if I'm going to go to buy a policy today from the insurer, तो mental illness अगर आपको है, अगर already है, आपको policy नहीं मिलने वाला. So that is the 11th point on according to me. I think in future it will come कि underwriting IRD बोलेगा कि you cannot restrict or discriminate people who have mental illness, epilepsy, which is not true today.
And I think the underwriting is kind of a black box, which is so opaque for investors. They have no idea क्या होता है. Insurance people know, but investor के mind में once they have paid the premium, it has gone into a black box और वो जब निकलेगा तो निकलेगा वरना I don't have any idea.
हाँ. Underwriting का simple मतलब तो ये है कि आपके माथे पे जो expenses का liability है वो आप insurer अपने माथे पे ले रहा है. So he is basically checking everything before that. So from that perspective, today the way things are enabled, people who have epilepsy, people who have mental illness, or people who have these kind of things, even now, unfortunately, they will still. It's not going to be very easy for them today also. So that would be my 11th point, which I would have requested.
Correct. And all these, just to confirm, all these changes are happening from today. That is 1st of October.
1st October 2020.
So any person who is buying the policy from either today or tomorrow, all these changes will start happening.
The changes are applicable for all policies, irrespective of when you bought it. Only when so 1st October onwards, all renewals will have the new conditions. And 1st on October on 2020 onwards, all new policies will also have these conditions. So आपका अभी existing policy भी जो है will also have those benefits as soon as it gets renewed. So everybody gets benefit.
So my renewal is due somewhere in December. So only when I renew, then these changes will incorporate. For next 2-3 months, it will not be covered. Till I don't renew.
Because it's the old policy, old conditions.
Got it. Okay, and very important point, because of all these changes, I think the quality of cover has substantially increased now. Now that same health insurance policy, I would say, has gone up by how much? 50% better or 100%?
I think 35-40% I would say.
30-40% better हो गया है, तो premium भी फिर बढ़ेगा 30-40%.
बढ़ेगा. Premium बढ़ेगा उसका वो guarantee है. Premium will always increase for health insurance.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with that because you have to understand the person who is taking this premium is going to pay for all the increase in hospital costs that are going to happen in the future.
True.
वो आपकी एक तरीके से आपका responsibility ले रहा है. तो आज hospital bill अगर आप देखोगे 5 साल पहले देखोगे, have changed by like 2x. So your insurance policy will also increase by that much.
True. Why I raise this point is a lot of investors who are listening to this, when their premiums increase, they get very disappointed because we generally don't want to pay more. हमको लगता है यार अगर मेरा 20,000 premium है तो 20,000 ही रहे. Just because of any reason it should not increase, but it's for your benefit. So don't get disappointed. It is a very wonderful move and it is in your interest.
Absolutely. You need to stay invested in health insurance. Any calculation you do, you put any kind of hike in premiums and do an Excel sheet calculation, you will never be able to beat the benefits that a health insurance gives you on a lifelong basis, right? So from that perspective, you should not get, like what Manish said, you should not get disappointed by increase in premiums. Stay invested. I can guarantee you that you will never regret it.
Great. Okay, Mahavir, thanks a lot for sharing these points. It was a very great discussion. And even I got clear with many of the points. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Let's do another video sometime soon. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So everyone else, I hope you learned a lot of things from this video. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and please like the video. Okay, and please share this with more and more number of people. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mahavir. Bye.
Thank you.